Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be doing a reaction of some Marizu gameplay. I want to give a shout out to this channel here. Serial Killer is the name. This person has the gameplay. They're uploading it, so I'm just going to check it out and I'm going to hit play. We'll talk through it. Maybe just the audio. I guess I should have did that to start, right? So here you can see the secondary outfit. It has like pink and blue to it. Right, that looks pretty cool. I like the blue one. The blue one is amazing. That's the one that they're going to use for the gameplay. We have a little match here where they're fighting against King, so we'll take a look at a little bit of the gameplay. Let's be BFFs is what she says to King at the start. So this just will be a little bit of some test gameplay, you know. It's not going to be anything too competitive. Jab string. So yeah, her game plan does use a lot of the stick. Even though this isn't the most complex gameplay, we can see her already transition into that sword just off of that little string that she did, right? And you know, I know people want like a grounded style. It's not too grounded, but we'll just have to see how good it is, because as you can see, both of those moves whiffed, right? The first one whiffed because of range, the second one whiffed because of tracking, right? So it does look like there is some limitations on it, right? Counter hit launch into the sword, jump up again on the sword. That last hit looked like a mid, but King, yeah, a lot of it is jumping on that sword or the pole basically, right? A lot of jumping on the poles there. I want to kind of see what happened. Let me go back a little bit. So at least it doesn't have crazy evasion, right? Counter hit. So you probably would do counter hit. We know she has that under that kind of like low blow type of move. That probably will be the screw. Plus frames into the sword. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's take a let's take a look at another gameplay. So this one is going to be dragging off on the Yakushima stage. Whoever's using this character, they don't seem like they're the best Tekken player. Okay, they're doing some combos now. They're doing some combos. Long range kick right there. That's like a high mid. Knockdown, guaranteed follow up. You can get it. This person doesn't do it. Down 4-2. Decent combo. Okay, okay. So far, the character doesn't look too bad. I know you guys may have a bigger problem with the jumping on the pole than I do. Generally, I think that the fact that she's not using that pole as a weapon, and she's only using it to like basically do like some launchers or to transition into some stances, it's not that big of a deal, you know. When you compare this to Anna, it's kind of a night and day difference, right? I was expecting some long range poke attacks. We haven't seen too much of the heat. We know when she taps in the heat, that's when she starts fighting like a type of ogre type thing. So we haven't seen that yet, but generally out of heat. She kind of does look very solid fundamentally. Like she has some solid pokes. You can just tell by the way she's playing down 4-2. Some of the that she did like a back mid kick, kind of like Asuka's counter hit. I don't know if it is an actual counter hit, but you could tell she got, and then also you saw that big plus frame elbow she went for. She's definitely going to have a solid fundamental kit. I can see her being very similar to like an Armor King and Fakuram, right? Like that jumping overhand puts you in a crouch, and then she gets pressure off of it, right? Down 4-2. Was that whose kick was that right there? She did someone's kick right there. I don't want to say Bruce, but look at this kick. Wait, that maybe I don't know. Is that Josie's kick? That's someone's kick. Let's keep going. So this person is doing the Armor King ladder. So a lot of poking. I wonder how it's gonna look when someone good get their hands on her. and then they start jumping around on this pole and whatnot. Like you see how she did it twice right there in one combo. Is it going to look like she's just constantly doing it over and over and over, like in the same combo? You know, when you start talking about 17 hit combos, how's that going to look, right? Maybe it'll look cool. Maybe it'll look cool. But I just think we never had a character like this before in Tekken that's jumping around in that way, right? Oh yeah, we haven't seen her power crush yet, huh? This person who's playing, oh okay, that's a backflip similar to Kunimitsu, right? And then that's like Josie's Superman punch, right? Maybe Bruce had the same or something. Yeah, so that knee is in that punch, right? So she's kind of brawling, bro. She's kind of brawling. I like that side of it. We just haven't seen that much of the ogre yet, but the she looks like a brawler. A lot of the Dambe is coming through. A lot of the merengue is coming through. This is what we were wondering: is will it be overshadowed? Will the ogre and the pole overshadow her? And yes, she is using that pole quite a lot, but she is still throwing those hands and elbows and low kicks and whatnot, right? This person who's playing still hasn't used much of the heat, but it's okay. Oh, there's the heat. Speaking of it, right? Down 4-2. They're still going for that same kind of like simple combo. That looked like, oh wait, he tried her heat smash. Just kind of sporadically pressing those buttons. Tracking high. That's a for my untrained eye, it looks like a fast tracking high. She has that jump into the side move. It didn't look too fast, but she did get pretty high off the ground. So how would that look like? Jumping off the sword, went into a low. Was that low? How is that? Is this low punishable? That's probably launch punishable, right? But I wish she would got hit by it so we can see what it does on hit. I want to see what it do on hit. Jumping off the sword into that stance. I keep saying sword, but it's a pole. Oh, okay. That is interesting. That's probably the most interesting part of this thing so far. She plus frames into this pole. So this is, you know, stance pressure, stance mix up, right? She jabs here. So jab, make sure you're blocking, jab again, and then this part will probably counter hit, knock you down. It puts a plus frame on you. You take some chip. Yeah, so that was one small ounce of like skill, and like you can kind of just see the potential there with the character, right? You can go plus frame into that pole, jab, just to check them. I wonder how easily you could get off. Like if someone will, and also too, you got to talk about if someone crouches that jab and launch, will the character be counted as airborne or grounded? Because if they're airborne, that's going to be super cheap. Because for those of you who know, airborne combos do reduced damage. So if you're getting reduced damage off of her primary method of fighting, it's going to be just an advantage off the rip, right? But if it is like a grounded, like a normal thing, then that move will kind of operate as a normal stance as long as the hitbox is expanded downwards enough for you to actually hit her, right? Because I know certain characters have, you know, let's say twin pistons, right? Will a twin pistons, because he is crouching launcher, would that hit her when she's on that pole like that, right? Jabbing you, you know? So far, one part of her that really uses the ogre arms is her grabs. We've seen a couple of the grabs now that uses the ogre arms. This is and which looks pretty cool. But this part here is the first time where we see her actually jump on the wall, and then the law player starts spamming. Well, it's a bot, it's a ghost, but same thing. And then she jumps off. I wonder what happens if you don't press anything on the wall, and like we're gonna have to really play around with that concept of jumping on the wall and what you can get off. Because look, you can see she's jumping right there, right? You can see she jumps right there, and I don't know if you press another button and then that other button will trigger the pole, or if this jump is exclusively for the wall. Like, is there two? Is there one jump for the wall and you need a wall, or is there or is the jump for the wall the same thing, but you just press it again and then it triggers the pole? You can see here she jumps to this side and she lands on the wall before she gets hit. But the fact that she does get hit off of this pretty nicely means that her hitbox won't be super crazy. So she jumps backwards, no wall, no pole, maybe didn't activate, jump to the side, she immediately hits the wall. I wonder what the skill level will be, right? Because if you can't see where you're going and you accidentally jump, but I'm assuming if you jump on a wall, if you do this jump, you're looking for a wall. So it probably won't be that difficult, right? Her range don't seem pretty crazy, bro. You see how look at how she's whiffing. There's characters in Tekken 8 who don't whiff like that already. That would look like a 1-1-2 string right there. That move got some range on the last hit. That was a low. It did. I'm gonna say that's probably either a while standing 4 punish, uh, or it's like -13 or something. It's -13, -12, something like that. It's nothing higher than that. That tail swipe. Huge launch on that move. Power crush. First time we've seen it. That looked like a mid. So that backwards kick right there does have some evasion on it. No, not the. It's if Law did a jab, he would have hit her, or like a down 4-2, or his nunchuck, or a hop kick. If he did something else, he would have hit her. That move just was so slow that he went for. Power crush knocks Law on the ground. You could probably launch punish that. Just looking at that, I was thinking launch punish. Down 4-2. Down 4-2, that for sure. What was the chip damage on this move? Not that bad. Chip damage not that bad. Low poke miss. I think that this character competitively, or at least high level, can go one of two ways. One, she will either look like the dopest female brawler in the whole game, or two, she will be pulling out that pole so much and it will look like, sickening to watch, But just with how complex her gameplay is right now from what we're seeing, it looks like she's gonna be a brawler, bro. I'm getting a lot of like Josie, vibes from this. Josie might be dead. Josie kind of was getting replaced by Azazina, kinda, right? Josie kind of getting replaced by Fakamam, and then now you have this female brawler. It seems like we got a lot of characters who are throwing hands and elbows, and I mean, I like it personally. I like it. Down 4-2. Jab string into some kind of like stance type of thing, or maybe it was just like a pressure, right? Her down 4-2 doesn't look to have that much range. Yoshimitsu's down 4-2 definitely has more range than her. That was another power crush she did. So she did the one power crush, which is kind of like a mid punch, and then she did that one, which is kind of like an overhand. Still didn't get to look at much of the heat. Look, on a different topic real quick, right? You know how heat is a big part of this game? I always highlight how people who are new to the game or people who are learning the game doesn't really use heat that naturally. We haven't seen this person tap in to any of the heat moves, right? No heat engagers, no heat. They tried the heat smash once, but that's kind of what I mean when I say heat. it's kind of second nature for a lot of people at the top ranks and pro players. But for a lot of the other people, for whatever reason, heat isn't as natural in the gameplay, right? They don't naturally use it. So that's something that they definitely got to look at. Maybe in season 3, maybe in the next Tekken if Heat makes an appearance. But it's just something that I always see is like when you watch like one of these journalistic videos, they don't really use heat unless it's like a pre-recorded, right? When you watch them fight, they're doing a lot of jab strings, they're doing a lot of 1-2. Here's the heat finally. Will they get some heat? Because I know she has the pause swipe move that's like a heat enhanced attack. She jumped on this. So when she jumps back on this pole, it looks like it consumes, yeah, when she jumps back on that pole, it consumes heat. Judging by how much heat it consumed, she will be able to do that probably like 8 times, right? So you won't have to worry about blowing through your heat immediately, but it does consume heat. I kind of like that. If we weren't lucky, it would be using heat, or it would be gaining heat, right? Kind of like how Azucena's stance is, kind of how like Lily Hop is, right? So the fact that it consumes heat is pretty decent in my opinion. Plus frame from the pole, or it's not plus frames, I meant tracking, right? Double tracking move. The frames actually looks like she will lose her turn off of that move. So this here, is there another version of this where the last hit is a low? Or that was a heat engager she did, and that was, see, this is what I mean. Now look at this heat, look at that. That's a fire move, left right. That's fire, bro. That's like how Steve Fox should have been. She really threw that heat engage. Pop pop. That's fire. That's fire. It's interesting how a lot of this stuff don't show in the trailer, I feel like for their trailers they should just get like, Feed EX, the character, for like a week, and then let Feed EX play a match against like main man, and then boom, there's your trailer, mirror match. Because like this looks dope. Like her, okay, we'll skip past Rage Art. I'll let it play. Her, actually, I'm skipping past it. Hey, I'm already skipping Rage Arts, and the character didn't even come out yet. But they should just like, man, I don't know why they don't give access to someone who like is actually good at Tekken. I understand you want the journalists and whatnot, but man, you could tell that this character got some potential. But also they got some Tekken 8, like that running kick in the stance, right? It's a mix. It's a mix. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing, though. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. The pole is coming out a lot, but I was expecting her to use that pole as a weapon. So, huge W in my opinion. Rage Art again. Okay. So there's a couple of more minutes of this video, but if you guys want to go watch the full thing, you can go check it out on this person's channel. That's all for me. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Bye bye.